Hello friends, what is up and welcome to my channel. It's a Hardback Life. My name is Jordan, for those of you who do not know. And today we're going to be doing author dedication. And what I mean by that is I'm going to dedicate every other month. I'm just going to say every other month for now. Where in my TBR, I'm going to read at least 5 books from an author I've selected and of whose books I have or collected throughout the months. And I'm going to read those books. And since October has Halloween in that month, I thought it would be appropriate to read none other than Stephen King. Woo! So I have here 5 books that I have chosen. Well, 5 books that I have of Stephen King's books to read for the month of October. And that's not going to be the only books I read, obviously. Like I said, this is just going to be a thing I do every other month. I might do it every month, who knows, but right now it's going to be every other month. Because, I mean, I don't want to be stuck reading certain books by certain authors just like for that whole month. So I thought this would be a good way to get dive into certain authors that I've wanted to dive into faster and also get done with more of their books. So I'm calling this the author dedication. And I'm super excited. I just thought about this. I don't know, while I was on vacation a couple weeks ago. So here we are. And so I'm going to show you the selection of Stephen King's books that I have that I'm going to start next month. The first one I've already showed you. Okay. The first book I'm choosing is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. Now, you guys already knew about this because I've talked about this book last 2 months, saying that I was going to read it. And it was actually on my TBR the last couple months. And now I'm going to fulfill reading this book. This will be the first book I think I'm going to read by Stephen King. And by the way, I just want to talk about, real quick, I just want to wonder, why does Stephen King have an obsession with cats? Okay? Why? He's obviously, there's this cat on this book, and then the other books, some of the other books I have, there's something about a cat in the synopsis of every one of those books. I don't get it. Yes, cats are, especially black cats, are very creepy and associated with horror and darkness. But it's just, I find it weird. Also, because I don't really like cats that much. Don't come after me because of that. I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person. So, but yeah, I'm reading Pet Sematary. And yeah. Next book I have on here is, now, I know this is not the first book in this series. This is a Dark Tower series. I'm going to pick up the first book before sometime next month so that I have it and I can read it. But this is the 4th book in the Dark Tower series, Wizard and Glass. Someone told me that I should really read these because I would like them. This is a mix of dark fantasy and horror and sci-fi and western. So that's all I really know about it. And like I said, this is the fourth book, so I'm going to pick up the first book. And if I like the first couple books, I'm going to continue on with this series. There's 8 books and 2 short stories, I believe, from what I read about this. So, Stark Tower. This book, I just actually read about it. It's called Lisi's Story. And I don't really know much about it, except it's a gothic horror type book, I believe. Um and I did read the synopsis briefly, and it sounded interesting to me. Even, you know how other authors have quotes on the back of each book, you know? Nicholas Sparks is on the back of this book, which is odd because he writes a lot of romance type books. I mean, I guess you can like more than one. You can like a different type of genre than the one you write about. But this just strikes me as odd. Nicholas Sparks says something about this book. Anyway, this is Lisi's Story. I can't wait to read it. This next one is Duma Key. This is set in Florida, and this one's interesting. Like, I read the synopsis a little while back. It's about a guy named Edgar. I can't remember how to say his last name, but Edgar, I guess, gets in a major accident where he loses his arm, and after that, he has marital problems, and his wife files for divorce, and so he moves to Florida, and he gets plugged back into his art, and while he's there, just a lot of stuff, weird stuff happens in like the island that he's on or whatever in Florida, and like I guess his art is, I guess, he paints a lot of psychic things that end up coming true. Something like that. But this is a psychological thriller, and I love psychologically driven books. So I'm really looking forward to this one. If you know a little bit more about this book, please say something in the comments. I appreciate it. Our next book, you guys. This one, I literally just read the synopsis before I made this video, and I'm super, super, super excited about this one. Although it's a huge chunker, it's almost, I think it's just over, no, it's like maybe 650 pages, maybe less. This is called Desperation by Stephen King. And in this book, a lot of people who are traveling, obviously they are like on their way to their destination, but they never get there because they get captured and held like captive by this police officer, by this deputy who is possessed. Like, this deputy is possessed by this evil being named Tack. And in this book series, the people decide to fight back for their sanity and just destroy this evil being. But the way to do that, they have to trap Tack where he came from. And Tack the way he lives is he can only live by possessing someone, so he has to move from person to person to keep being alive. So, um, it's called Desperation. I'm super, super excited about reading this one. This is another horror. Another horror. I can't remember exactly the element of horror. Whether it's a psychological, not psychological. It's whatever. I'm really excited to read this one. The last book that I'm choosing for October and my dedication month is Cell by Stephen King. This is another horror. All I really know is this book deals with cell phones, like being part of the story, like of the horror, like portion of the story. I don't really know much about it except for that. But heck, I'm really excited to read it still because, like I said, Stephen King is an author who I've never read from and who I've always wanted to dive into, but I've just been afraid. And I'm conquering my fear in October, so be looking for more videos on, or for that official video when I talk about my experience reading Stephen King. Alright, you guys. So that was my selection of books that I will be reading for the month of October. When it comes to my dedication, or author dedication. And like I said, I'll be doing this every other month, most likely. If you guys have an author that you want to recommend, um, by all means, recommend them in the comments section below. And yeah, I'm open to any genre almost. Like I said, I'm reading horror next month. It's appropriate for Halloween, and also just because, I mean, it's a genre that I wanted to read, but like I said, I was super scared to read before. Anyway, you guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope to see you guys soon. If you like what you've seen here, please like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Alright. See you later.